Hey everybody, Chris here, UJoint Off-Road. I'm on this side of the camera today because I've got stuff to talk about. So, I just want to go over a few things, some about our RV conversions, some things that I consider competition to the RV conversions. I'm going to touch on multiple subjects, so just hang on and hopefully you watch the whole video. So, something lately I've been noticing is a lot of guys talking about our conversions and comparing them to what you would call a Super C, which is an F-Series Class C conversion with a factory four-wheel drive. They say, why wouldn't you just buy one of those? There's a few reasons. These are all my opinions and stuff that I've, collected over the years, talking about these things, and then also talking to people who, went out and bought those rigs instead of buying one of these. So my number one things are the truck-based Super Cs. They're super tall, so you really can't lift them much. Because the chassis are so big, the RV manufacturers can build the bodies bigger, and so they're much taller than the E-Series Class Cs, from the start. So if you're trying to lift them to get bigger tires under them, then you're going to run into your 13-foot mark where you're too tall to get around most places. Another problem with those is the tires. So most of them are going to come, or all of them are going to come with a 19.5 tire, which is a very heavy-duty tire because they're heavier and because the chassis will take it. So airing down usually is not easy on those tires. They have very little, they're over capacity on the tires, so airing down doesn't really help you much. So what a lot of guys do is they'll go to an aftermarket tire, they'll go to a super single to try to get more flotation, for instance if you're using it on the beach, and that just adds a lot of cost and more complication for future servicing. A lot of tire shops don't have the capabilities, or do they want to touch a 19.5, especially if you got something aftermarket or a big heavy tire. So those are negatives that I see. I don't know, they're super hard to balance, and a good wheel and tire setup for those rigs is probably going to cost you about $20K. So another thing is they are all undersprung. Just like every RV when it leaves the factory, they are undersprung, and you can band-aid that with custom shocks or airbags, but still at the end of the day, you're driving around an RV that is undersprung. Our RV conversions have custom springs. You've heard me say it 1,000 times if you watch my videos. All of our RVs are custom spec'd to the weight of the rig. It makes a massive difference in ride, steering, handling, and overall comfort. Another thing for the factory full drive, F600s, F550s, is the radius coil arm, radius arms and coil springs. It's well documented on the internet. I don't need to go into what problems people have with death wobble and handling issues and drivability issues with the coil radius arm setup. Now, I'm well aware that there are guys doing clearly what I view as magical things with these radius and coil arms. I've seen, the trucks with the Carly kits and stuff, and it's nothing short of amazing. I love it. I'm super supportive of it. Does it make sense for a Class C RV? Absolutely not. You're not going to be taking this thing out in the desert and romping through the loops at 50 miles an hour. So impressive, but just not realistic. Another huge issue with the Super Cs is cost. So I did a little bit of looking around the other day. The cost is way more. So I found a 2021 with 8,600 miles on it. It was listed for $160,000. I found some 2025s, brand new. A Dodge and a Ford, both listed at $225,000. So much higher cost. A lot of you are going to want that rig, or say you need that rig because you need a diesel. You might have what we call diesel blinders, or what I like to call diesel insecurities, where you feel like you just have to have a diesel. Got to have a diesel. Some of you, that's true. If you're pulling a car trailer, you're pulling a bunch of weight, and that's the dedicated thing that the rig is for, then cool, get a diesel. But if you sit down and do the math, you're not towing a bunch of weight. Just sit down and figure, all right, I'm going to drive 5,000 miles a year. How much is it going to cost me in gas? How much does it cost me in diesel and estimated, MPGs, and then service costs, DEF fuel. Just do the math. 9 times out of 10, it makes more economical sense to have the gas engine instead of diesel. Not what I consider a benefit, the 7.3 Godzilla, which is in both of these RVs behind me. Actually, every RV in the parking lot right now has a 7.3 Godzilla. Great engine, great power, super awesome. We love it. Turn the page. Quick note on Facebook. I've left all Facebook groups. I don't participate in any of them anymore because, in my opinion, it's basically a cesspool of bad information. got tired of dealing with everybody putting out bad info, saying stuff as if it's a fact, and they have no idea what they're talking about. So if you're in these groups and you're looking for an opinion on stuff, just ask them. If somebody gives you an opinion and says this is what you got to have, just say, hey, have you done it? What's your experience with this? You're giving me advice, but do you know, is this a fact, or are you just talking? All right, so some more positives for the E-Series conversion. More size of rigs available. This is perfect. You've got a 30-footer here. You've got like a 24-footer here. Both E-Series, both E450. So you got a lot more variety, especially in the used market. First to Super C, there's a lot more availability in the E-Series. Tires and wheels are already covered on. These tires and wheels that are on these rigs are available. They can be serviced anywhere. Any tire shop can handle mounting a 17-inch wheel on a regular tire. Tire replacement is another thing. 19.5s are hard to get. These tires, pretty much any tire shop or any distributor around the country is going to have them on the shelf. The overall packaging is better on the E-Series because of the way the cab and the engine is laid out. You're going to have a bigger rig with shorter overall dimensions. And you can get a super nice RV for, even brand new, like one of these. You can get one of these for $100 grand, and you can go completely decked out, say with us, wheels, tires, four-wheel drive, onboard air, lights, winch, everything, and be all in for about $150K. And then there's nothing else needed. You don't have to put dual stabilizers on it. You don't have to upgrade the shocks or airbags and try to band-aid it to make it drive better. Better ride and handling, I already covered that. Here's another thing, we run leaf springs. I get a lot of comments. It's never going to end the coil versus leaf debate. All I can say is watch our videos. I'm going to put a clip in this video of me driving this RV at speed on the interstate. Come for a ride. Just come see us. Come here in North Carolina, shoot me a DM or an email, say, hey, I'm passing through town. I want to check out and take a ride in one of your rigs. I'll let you know if we have one ready to go. And same for the Colorado shop. They've always got a rig in some form of finish that you can go take a ride in one of those. So yeah, I think I've covered. We've got a lot of videos, handling videos, performance videos, slalom videos that show the difference between our system and coil system. To date right now, we've removed pretty much everybody's four-wheel drive system and replaced it with ours. Anybody, everything from the big giant companies to just a small homebrew DIY backyard job. We've replaced them all with our system. And we'll stop doing that when people stop asking us for help to do that. I got 2 emails yesterday from 2 known companies where guys are not happy with the way they drive and they want a fix. So they're having to do it twice instead of doing it nice. Yeah, so I think I've covered everything. Yeah, so here's a clip of me driving this rig at speed. So this is what we like to see from our lifted Class Cs. We're doing about a little over 70 miles an hour right now. We'll merge over. Minimal effort of steering. You see the steering wheel's not moving at all. I'm making very small inputs to keep it straight. So our custom spec springs are the key to this. Also our steering angle, sway bar, shock choices are what makes our RVs drive so well. If you're near the North Carolina shop or the Colorado shop, feel free to contact us. We'd love to take you for a ride so you can feel the difference. I'm going to get off now and continue this test drive. All right, so thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate the support. If you don't follow us on Instagram and Facebook, please do. Don't forget we got the shop in Colorado. You can follow them on Instagram and Facebook and here on YouTube as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or shoot me an email, chris@ujoinoffroad.com. Colorado shop is justin@ujoinoffroad.com. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.